Back. Now, an exclusive 2 News investigation. Tonight, the founder of a revolutionary group home in Springfield asks the state to give back its license.
Sonu Wasu is live, though, with why the days may be numbered for this once exemplary program. Sonu.
Mark Michelle, state investigators will confront the Vision for Youth creator next Monday. Ralph Williams will then have a chance to explain why many of the troubled teenagers he cared for, kids aged 13 to 18, are now saying they were choked, punched, and handcuffed. 10 years ago, this was cutting edge of crime fighting.
Let's go. Let's get on that truck.
Teen criminals from 10 counties going through the paces of the boot camp run by Springfield-based Vision for Youth.
You need a haircut, son. You'll never get a job looking like that.
Local leaders, law enforcement, and state officials hailed it as unique, effective, and outstanding. High praise for the man who started it all, Ralph Williams.
And these kids are responding in a great way. They just needed somebody to hold them accountable.
Killian Roddy, who just turned 18, was one of those troubled kids. Abandoned at 2, raped by a foster parent at 14. Roddy told me he was always in trouble with the law. That's why about 3 years ago, a worker with Montgomery County Department of Job and Family Services sent Roddy to Vision for Youth.
I said, "Where are you taking us?" When I started crying, I said, "Where am I going?" I said, "I don't want to go here."
Despite his fear, Roddy took part in the boot camp drills and chores. Still, he said he knew something was not right.
It was terrible. Expired food, getting beat up, not necessarily, boxed up. I mean, grabbing you, pushing you on the ground, kicking you.
Roddy said he tried to tell his social workers. He said he even ran away to the Springfield Police Department. But Roddy said officers took him right back to Vision for Youth boot camp.
They don't care. It's so hard. They don't listen to you.
What Roddy didn't know is he wasn't the only teen complaining about conditions at Vision for Youth. These documents I obtained from the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services are a 6-year paper trail that include 3 different recommendations to revoke the license of Vision for Youth. February of 2001, allegations a staff member choked a child. December 2001, allegations Vision for Youth owner Ralph Williams handcuffed a child. February 2002, licensing specialists reported concerns about use of excessive force. April 2003, allegations a staff member punched a boy in the face.
Get out of the way. You're going to get jumped on. Get out of the way.
None of these allegations surprised Roddy, who told me about his own violent encounters.
Put your head against the wall. Put your head against the wall. Knocking your head against the wall if you don't stay. Pushing up against the wall, kicking the back of your legs, pushing you, doing all that stuff.
Roddy's allegations and the others might have stayed hidden were it not for this video. Taken last year, it shows a confrontation between Vision for Youth staffer Lafayette Smith and a teenage client. Police said the teen assaulted Smith. But Pastor Bill Stout, who released the tape, said Smith was the instigator who pulled a teenager out of a church pew, wagged his finger at the boy in the hallway, then tackled him. Stout said he believes the tape prompted several local children's services agencies to remove children from Vision for Youth facilities. 5 months after the tape surfaced, the state revealed its findings. Among them, that an employee improperly restrained a child and that Vision for Youth did not maintain proper documentation on employees' criminal background checks when it hired at least 7 felons. That did not surprise Killian Roddy, who said some of the very people dedicated to straightening out his life were themselves in need of tough love.
The employees would brag about their criminal backgrounds. They loved it. They flaunted it. They told the kids. They threatened the kids with it.
Sonu, a couple of questions here, if we could. I heard you say there at one point that the state's own experts recommended 3 different times that Vision for Youth be shut down. Why did that never happen?
Good question, Mark, and it's one that the spokesman for the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services has been reluctant to answer. One suggestion that I have heard is that there are so few places that'll take in these troubled teens that the state gives many chances to facilities like that to prove that they are following the rules.
Well, Sonu, speaking of the rules, what are the rules for restraint and discipline at a home like that?
Well, Michelle, state regulations do allow caretakers to restrain clients, but they are by no means allowed to minister any sort of physical discipline. That alone in itself can be cause for license revocal.
All right, Sonu, and finally, in fairness, of course, any comment at all on this from Vision for Youth?
Mark, I tried to talk to Ralph Williams several times, went by his house, made several phone calls, but he declined to return any of my calls.